Gentlemen, welcome back to more Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, where last time we finished up the Deadly Life investigation for Chapter 5 of the game, and today we'll be diving straight into the trial for Chapter 5, in which Kyoko was our prime suspect, but of course we know she's not actually the one who did it because she's too important to the plot to actually be the culprit, so, likely we're gonna spend the whole time trying to convince everyone that it wasn't her, and then it was actually, freaking... Mukuro Ikusaba, that it wasn't actually Mukuro Ikusaba who died, and that she's the one who used Junko's body, Junko, however you say your name, I don't know, her body from the beginning of the game, and yeah, I explained it all in the last episode. If you missed it, I'm sure we'll get into more of that today. Let's just dive straight into this and finish our preparations. Here we go. All rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation.
We will not be doing that because we already know how this works.
Let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
Yeah, Hero. And we're already off to a great start. It's been like a minute, maybe a minute and a half, and he's already out of the gate with the dumbassery. Okay, Hero, buddy, please look up.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No, that's a ghost.
Oh dear.
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because
Oh, I would love to hear you try to finagle your way out of this one.
it's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
Oh my god.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
That's easy. The corpse wasn't wearing gloves. Boom, problem solved. One important trait that Kyoko has proves the Kyoko's gloves. The corpse wasn't wearing gloves. Easy, problem solved.
Talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
And you sound so damn proud of that fact.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves.
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion.
That's...
I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
How did he survive this game? How is he still here? There's no way that corpse was Kyoko, but if I can't prove why, we're gonna be stuck here and the case won't move forward. I don't have any choice. Okay, well, how about the fact that there were those fake acrylic red nails on the freaking victim, which obviously would not have, like, trying to wear gloves with those things would not work out too well, so how about we start there? Yeah, exactly, fake nails, called it. Alright, let's get the fake nails ready to go for whatever this game tries to throw my way. It's gonna have something to do with the gloves.
Prove she's not a ghost.
Easy, I can do that.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves.
No, it's wrong. No. There's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails. Don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
That's not you. That doesn't.
Doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
Glad you decided to join us, Hero.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. I'm so glad we wasted a solid 5 minutes diddling around talking about how Kyoko is actually a ghost. That was super fun. Okay. Now then. It's probably gonna be the tattoo, because, what did I just do there?
Then who died?
Oh, okay, apparently I can do that.
There's gotta be some way to figure it out.
Yeah, the tattoo.
The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description information in the Monokuma.
Doesn't matter, we have the tattoo.
Well, if we can't identify the body...
That's not, I didn't want to, Taps triangle button. Game decides you were holding down triangle button.
Some way to fix her...
Oh, I can't wait to be done. I hope that the next game's trial system is better than this garbage. I hate it so much. It's so bad. Oh my god, okay. Oh my god, and yes, I know that, like, I still stand by the fact that it's not actually Mukuro Ikusawa's body, because there's no way that, the writers wouldn't be that bad to the point where they would introduce a character and then immediately kill her off. There's no way they would have done that, so there's no way it's actually, and yeah, I know the tattoo thing, but I'm sure that's, I'm sure that it's going to be revealed later that Junko was actually a part of this whole thing the whole time, and she was part of the grand group or whatever.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Cruel and unusual death?
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh, yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog?
Close enough to wolf.
Her master must have made her get it.
Oh, that's not. Nope.
That's
Nope.
not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
If you compare the tattoo to other information, we compare it to the profile that we have. Here we go.
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusawa belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
The image that represents Fenrir it's a wolf. Oh, we have to play Hangman's Gambit. Okay, well yeah, it's wolf. Not much thought goes into this one. We know it's wolf. All the letters are just, okay, the F is going to be a little bit hard to find, I guess, but the first three were just right there for us. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's easy.
Now I understand.
I'm always a big fan of word games, so Hangman's Gambit's pretty good.
The
I mean, it's easy,
representation of
but, you know,
Fenrir is
still
a wolf.
fun.
Fenrir, the wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
It's hard to not think of just Thor when you say that.
Man,
Thor Ragnarok, I mean.
We finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo.
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro. What?
Oh, hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusawa.
I don't believe you, because you're still being controlled by her, probably.
Are you saying the Mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
It's not, obviously not, because then who would be controlling Monokuma?
It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
Yeah, it's probably Junko, but that's her dead body out there, so...
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description. All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusawa? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more details.
This is not the character we've known. I mean, this is the character we should have gotten, to be clear. A character who's like... Because that's an interesting premise for characters. Someone who's like so fixated on fictional stories and creative writing that they compare it all to, you know, the creative writing process, things like this. To kind of apply a meta layer to the narrative. This is not the character we got. The character we got is a disgustingly self-pity. It's like, oh my god, you all hate me. And instead of, like, this is not consistent with the character we've seen so far.
So
It's
you're
better
saying
than
she
that, but
wasn't
still.
an important character, which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy.
No.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now, figuring out who killed Mukuro.
Oh, no. Nice try, Monokuma. No. You don't get to distract us away from what we're talking about when we're almost close to figuring out your grand scheme.
Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as...
Ah, very convenient.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this, no matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
And if we don't, I will not be happy.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation.
That's cool. We'll get you eventually.
Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brain!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
No, absolutely not.
Wait, no.
No.
There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along.
First off, that's not a new body. It's either it's Junko's dead corpse from episode 2, or Junko somehow survived that and she was killed by and she's been the mastermind the whole time and she was killed by Mukuro Yukusaba, and her body was placed there to throw us off the scent. It's either way, it's Junko's body. But the question is as to whether it's a new body or if it's just the same corpse from episode 2.
Nope. There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Huh?
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto?
Yeah, you think it's either me or her because we're the only. You think it's either me or Kyoko because we're the only people who don't have alibis.
I got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me.
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis.
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
Exactly so.
So the only suspects are now me and Kyoko. Damn it, I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at, well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body?
Well, no, it's much smaller than that because it has to have been. What time would the sprinklers do? They go off at like 7:30, right? Wait, let me check. Do we have that in the? We must have that in the Troop section. Is it 7:30 a.m.? Yeah, okay. So they go off every morning at 7:30 a.m., but the body wasn't wet until after we doused it with the water bucket. So the time from which it could have been, in which he could have, in which the body could have been, which they could have been killed, has to be way shorter than that because it has to have been after 7:30 a.m. or else the sprinklers would have doused the body and it would have been very damp by the time we found it. So that actually helps us because the time frame you're concerned about, which is 10 to 7:30, is the time when when Makoto was asleep. However, the body they couldn't have been killed between those time frames because the body would have been doused it would have been soaked in water from the sprinklers. So it has to happen after 7:30, and from 7:30 onward, I have an alibi because I was with all of you. So obviously Makoto would not have been the one to kill them, and that clears my name. So there we go. There's that.
What time
9 o'clock.
The one who saw the body
It
first.
was 9 o'clock. What time was body discovered at 9 o'clock? So that narrows down the time frame and should also help clear Makoto's name.
9 a.m. Since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
Try 7:30 to 9,
For me,
during which I have an
I
alibi.
sleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock.
You do from 7:30 to 9.
But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? Oh yeah, right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
But I don't need one because the killer couldn't have done it before 7:30 a.m. What happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. and I don't have an alibi? It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. The game has begun. I can't write an alibi for that period, and I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during that time. I don't have an alibi. Yes, I got that. Thanks, game. Thanks, game. I already figured that out. Thanks for your hand holding. Okay. Yep, sprinklers. Exactly as I suspected. Okay, let's get that primed and ready to go.
The time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock.
No, it's wrong. Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on. I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet.
Yeah, because I doused it in water after the fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words?
What? Wait, that's not. I'm not even gonna bother paying attention to that.
Saying that the body
I'm not even gonna. I'm not even gonna grace that with a response.
What do you mean by denying the sprinkler? Are you trying to deny my entire existence?
You're not a sprinkler. What do you mean?
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you
You're only just not noticing this.
the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why.
Do you not remember that? Oh wait, maybe she was knocked out, right? Because she was blown up from the. Okay, right. So, in all fairness, she may not remember this because she might have been knocked out from the explosion. But still, denying your existence. You're not a sprinkler. What do you think I'm denying here? I need to prove it wasn't the sprinklers that got the body wet. Okay, well then don't we have the body analysis that shows? Oh. Alright, bullet time battle, here we go. Hopefully the increased bullet count should help with this. That and the fact that I can hit multiple in one shot. The goal here is to try to hit as many in one shot as we can. I've already messed up because this game is awesome. Okay, the hit now. Oh, lovely. You hit the button and nothing happens. Awesome, dude. Awesome. You hit the button, nothing happens. What great fun. Trying to blame me? I don't really care. Just, okay, tempo up, awesome. You hit the triangle button and nothing happens, which is such great fun. Okay, well, so much for getting the perfect trial. There's a trophy for completing a trial without taking any health damage. But obviously that's not gonna happen this time because I pressed the triangle button to hit to shoot down the statements, and what happened? Nothing. Because why would it? Why would it?
Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers. The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
You need help.
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't work.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
Glad everyone decided to wake up this morning so you can actually join the conversation. Glad you finally decided to join us.
Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
Thanks for playing along, everybody. I'm glad it took you this long to catch up.
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's the only one without an alibi, which would mean that Mukuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone?
I just have
That's...
to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever, which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the Mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game, and now you decide to blame me?
No. We've been blaming you the whole time. Just that now we're actually getting to the point in the game where it becomes plot relevant to do so.
Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is...
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
She's too plot relevant to... Okay.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
What?
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
Oh, I would love to hear you explain this one.
What are you? Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
If you're gonna try to say that they covered it with the tarp, I'm gonna call bullshit, because there's no way the tarp would not have gotten blood on it. When please, Kyoko, please try to tell me that they covered the body with a tarp and somehow didn't get any blood on said tarp. Please tell me.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
Oh, really? Uh-huh. A certain something that seems used to cover the body could have been... Yes, it was... She's talking about the tarp, but I call bullshit because that makes no goddamn sense.
I got it! You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water.
Okay, how about the other side that's surprisingly free of the blood that was covering the coat on top of the victim?
The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean.
Unless... Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Okay, never mind. Okay, I see how she's gonna justify this. Okay, so... No, not the chickens! No, the chickens! No! Not the chicken! Oh, no! Okay, I should probably explain what I just... Okay, so my thought process there was, trying to figure out how Kyoko's gonna justify this, because obviously anyone with a brain would immediately jump to the conclusion of, hey, that makes no sense, because there was blood covered on the coat, and the tarp would have gotten covered in that as well if it had been covering the body. However, let's think back to what I said yesterday, or maybe in the daylight section, I'm not actually sure, when I was talking about how, it was probably actually yesterday, when I was talking about how the coat doesn't actually seem to perfectly line up with the body itself, because in the screenshot we saw of the purple guy leering over Makoto, it actually looked like a coat that you would wear normally with the buttons on the front and everything. But the one we saw on top of the body in the garden looked like it was placed on top of him, like layered, like a blanket on top of him, because it looked like the back of the coat was where it was on the side of his chest should be instead of the reverse, and the sleeves were covered on top of the arms, not the arms weren't inside the sleeves. So if we carry the logic forward, then what might have happened, if we believe Kyoko's theory to be true, which I didn't actually consider before, is that they cover the body in the tarp, and then they deliberately place the blood on the coat afterwards, and lay that coat on top of the victim to make it look like that's where the wound was. Because if my theory is correct, and it's Junko's body from the beginning of the game, then the fatal stab wound wouldn't be what we think it is. It would be from all the different spikes that she got stabbed with in the beginning, or she died again in a similar way. But either way, my point still stands. Now, the reason why I said no, not the chickens, is because I'm thinking, okay, so did they get the blood from the blood packets in the nurse's office? But then I'm like, oh wait, no, there's a much more tragic reason as to how that could have happened. Because if we remember the truth bullets section, we have, where's the chickens? Here it is. The number of chickens in the chicken coop had decreased from 5 to 4. Almost as if one of them had been killed to get blood from the chicken and to cover the coat with that. It's tragic, it's awful, but it makes perfect sense.
This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make me look like the killer? No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body... Yes, I got it, thanks.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. Okay, well that shouldn't be too hard. That shouldn't be hard at all. Oh, we just have to point out the contradiction between the body, probably the body before the explosion, because we need to point out the blood that was on the coat.
The body with the tarp. The killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
No, it's wrong. Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
Why would you only wash one side of the tarp?
They would have washed both sides.
Exactly.
Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
How did you survive this game?
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Yep, exactly what I thought. The blood was camouflage?
After the killer used the tarp to avoid, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim.
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office.
They could have, but there's a much easier explanation.
Hifumi did, right?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
I'm sorry, chickens. I'm sorry, chickens. You did nothing wrong.
I got it! Could it have been chicken blood?
What?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
Yeah, okay, Hina.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
I like the idea that Hina stumbles across the murderer and she sees him or her. It's probably her because Mukuro Yukusaba. She sees her do it. She's like, "Oh my God, you're horrible. Are you gonna eat that chicken?"
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right?
Yes.
But if that's the case, then the blood should have...
No, it was done. No, because it was done preemptively. It was done preemptively. It wouldn't have had to. It wouldn't have had to have been done right there.
Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Yep, that's exactly what I said.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Basically, the whole thing's fake.
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe. But still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
Now, the fact that she's, like, what she's saying makes sense in terms of the actual logic of what went down. Where you're losing everyone is the fact that you're trying to pin this on me. That's not gonna work out too well for you.
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. Oh, I guess we got that.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin.
What?
50-50 odds.
How did you survive this game? Why would you ever in a million years think that would be even kind of a good idea?
Oh!
See? Pretty good idea, right?
I'm hoping that O was like, oh wow, that was a really dumb thing you just said there. Not, oh wow, what a great idea. I don't think she would have ever said that.
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded. According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back. So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before.
Yeah, so this is where the problem comes in. So that let me
I thought when I first saw it.
let me read the Monokuma file again to make sure I actually know what we're talking about here. Oh wait, no, hold on, go up here. Dead before the blast, victim stabbed a single time with a knife which went completely through the body. Okay, so here's the thing. Also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Okay, so here's the thing. The fact that they went to the trouble of creating a fake blood stain should make it pretty clear that it wasn't actually a stab wound that had killed, that did the fatal blow. It was probably the metal object was about as thick as a metal pipe. Wait a minute, and I bet you I know what that was, because we found the arrows in the the titanium arrows in here, right? Okay, so individually, they're not that strong, but we did find bloody duct tape, a wadded up ball of duct tape. So if you were to duct tape the arrows together, what would you get? You would get something about as thick and deadly as a metal pipe. Boom, and that would be the fatal blow, not the stab wound. The fact that Makoto was taking control of the knife means literally nothing. Please try again. This isn't working out too well for you.
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
So unfortunately, that theory would put suspicion on Kyoko because of the woodblock key we found in her room. But actually, no, that doesn't because Bikuya has her, oh no, because she has, okay, I just ran through, my head just went through, wait, that doesn't help Kyoko. Oh wait, yes it does, because Bikuya had her key. But then I immediately remembered, oh wait, no, because she just told us before the trial started that she also had the super mega ultra mastermind key that opens every door in the school, so I tried, Kyoko. I went from it hurts you to it helps you to it hurts you back again. But we're just pointing out contradictions here. I'd still say you didn't do it, but
Why did you hide that fact?
It's not that I hid it.
which, by the way, I like how we're basing this whole thing on him being able to consciously remember everything that happened here. I thought maybe I really did kill her. Like,
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed.
3 a.m. in the morning, you get woken up, you're not in the dark, you're not remembering the finer details of what you saw. No, that's not happening.
The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto.
That'd be a crucial detail if the fatal blow was a knife wound, which it wasn't.
I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
I think you've demonstrated to us within the past 30 minutes that what you have to say doesn't carry much weight whatsoever. The first words out of your mouth were, "Kyoko's a ghost! Woo!" I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. Well, that shouldn't be too hard. I mean, convincing Hiro might be tough because he's a freaking idiot, but, you know, the rest of them should be fine. In theory.
The knife we found lodged in the dead
Wait, what were options?
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her.
No, that's wrong. Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it. In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice.
That-
Once to kill her and once to cover it.
Please use your brain a little bit. The Monokuma file says she was only stabbed once. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Why are you even here?
Then the knife...
Can we just mute Hiro?
It's just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden?
There was a bomb strapped to it.
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown.
Just shut up.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
There's only one explanation I can think of for the explosion. How about we go for the fragments of the bomb we found around it?
I got it! After the explosion, We found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
That's only natural. Because, of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto, and the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
Yes, we do, because the only other option is that she was hit in the back of the head, and the only thing that could possibly make sense as to what it was based on the evidence we have is that they duct taped up the arrows to make one giant bludgeoning device, and then that would be what did her in.
True. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Okay, well, this shouldn't be too hard. Body from the explosion, file, not a lot of options here. And none of that really does me any good.
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
Well, she was hit on the back of the head, but I don't have anything to actually
For sure.
confirm that based on the evidence we have.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, are they gonna say it? Come on, say it, say it, say it.
That's gotta be it.
Yep, right here. Give me that. I need that. Let me absorb that, and then we'll use this to contradict the hey, what's the victim's fatal injury?
Then, shall we continue the debate?
Yep. Shoot up and above it. There we go.
No, that's wrong. Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Yeah, the wounds all over her body. Hey, who do we know that was in a situation recently where she would have had a lot of wounds all over her body?
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
That's not it's not that they don't matter. They're gonna be what helps you prove that it was Junko.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The duct taped arrows.
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe.
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
That wouldn't
No
change
way.
anything.
The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you.
Okay.
I bet you just hit me with a metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out that.
Okay, can we move on, please?
We already know?
Oh my god.
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto.
Yes, I have. The real murder weapon was these titanium arrows.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
An arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird.
Welcome to Danganronpa.
Hey!
That's kind of this game's motto.
Master, I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
Anything that even remotely goes against what the person is saying is apparently back-talking in this universe. And by this universe, I mean our universe. One more secret. Oh, we're still going. Okay. Oh, do we need to prove how it would have been strong enough to actually do it in? Yep. Okay. There we go. We gotta get the bloody duct tape ready to go.
Titanium arrow. It was in the Dojo Locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
No, it's wrong. You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the Dojo Locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably uses duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? If you even listening.
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the Dojo Locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto?
So here's the thing. We have, like, the proof they're gonna want is the fact that we found the woodblock key in her room. And then it's probably going to be like, wait, but Bakuya has the key to her room. And then we're going to be like, yeah, but Kyoko also has the master key that can let her into any room in the school, so,
Oh,
What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer.
I'm just thinking about how this is going to go, because she's too important to the plot to be killed off, so I don't really know, how is this trial going to end, is my question.
What will happen if you do, don't you?
Like, are we allowed to vote for Monokuma? I doubt it. I also doubt we're allowed to vote. Oh no, because we were allowed to vote for Sakura last time, and she was dead. So are we even allowed to vote for Junko here? I don't. Like, what happens if we decide it's not one of us? Is my question.
If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all.
of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I have evidence. Evidence Kyoko went to the dojo. That would be the woodblock key that we found right down here.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the Dojo Locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit.
Hold on a second.
Not this again.
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just, there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
Yeah, we kind of figured that.
What?
She's still not the killer, but we kind of figured that. Does that mean no? That does not. You can leap to that conclusion, but that does not implicitly mean that she killed him she killed her to protect you. Could that be when? No. What you mean the Kyoko? No. Still no.
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait, I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it.
Yeah, because he's the one with the key.
Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know.
What? The key should know better than... Yeah, because... Did you forget already? He's the one with the key to her room. Did you forget that whole ordeal? I guess you did. Okay. Here we go. But the problem is we don't actually have anything that would prove that...
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
There is proof, but we don't...
Is that what you're saying?
We don't have that.
You stated a theory earlier. You said I
I mean, the fact that the locker key is in her room at all should be the proof, but we don't have that in evidence. Oh, right here. Right here. Give me that. Give me that. I need that. Because the only way I could have gotten it, well, I mean, that's the thing, though, is that obviously we know she has the master key. So, this isn't, like, this will get us past this contradiction, and it'll progress the story. But it won't actually make any significant progress, because we know she still has the master key, or whatever. So, where did she... Yeah, this is the proof.
No, it's wrong. If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
You all have very bad memories.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself.
Yeah, but you told me about the master key.
Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. There was a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us, an obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. To try and save herself with such a desperate lie. Does she really feel that threatened? Because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? The Mastermind's trap. The Mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko? But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The Mastermind's trap? The victim was Mukuro and Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it, but who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The Mastermind's trap. What do I do? I have to decide right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's lie. So... I seem to recall getting a comment about this point, about a month ago or something like that, saying there'd be a point where you had the choice, the opportunity to present evidence against Kyoko, and you shouldn't do it or else you get the bad ending. So, I mean, even though I didn't get that comment, I would still choose to let it go because the game is very obviously trying to tell you, let it go, because if you don't, you won't get the good ending. So we're gonna let it go and see what happens. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. There has to be some secret here, something that has to do with the Mastermind's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room, that it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
Which would, of course, implicate me.
It had to be Makoto, right?
Except for the part where you were there with me when we found
I don't
it.
see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the Mastermind set for us.
Okay, time's up!
Oh, bug off, Monokuma. What do you... Oh, how wonderfully convenient. The one time we're at risk of actually figuring out that you're behind this whole shebang is the time you decide there's a time limit. Oh, how convenient.
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up?
It's because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
Oh, that's the whole thing? Well, that's a bit of an abrupt conclusion.
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Hey, hold on! What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Wait, so they're just gonna... Really? Seriously? They're just... Oh, wow, they're actually doing this. Can you people not think for like a second? Okay, so this whole thing is predicated on Bikuya being like, well, you see, someone could have gone into the room and pretended to find the key. But what they don't realize, when Makoto's too stupid to point out, is that Bikuya was in the goddamn room when we found the key. Which means it's perfectly viable for him to have placed the key in her room and then just kind of walked away and let Makoto find it. Which I still don't think that's what happened, but according to their batshit crazy logic, that makes perfect sense, so it's still another option they could have pursued, but instead they're just like, nope, insta-death with Makoto. You still think I'm the killer? Sorry, man. Yeah, sorry. Hina, we're friend level 2! We're friend level 2! You asked me to be your pretend boyfriend, now you're turning against me? What? Everyone, you're wrong. You got it all wrong, I didn't do it. Good job, everyone. Good job. Yeah, they got it right. No, they didn't. No, I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense. It makes perfect sense. It's the same as always. No, because there was never a time limit like the other times. It's time for your heart pounding, positively thrilling, likely to get copyright claimed, thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Kyoko!
I don't expect you to forgive me.
Kyoko?
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
I have like a million questions right now. Wait a minute. Okay, where do I even begin? Where do I even begin dissecting this? Okay, first things first. You're all idiots. We already knew that. I hate all of you, except for Hina and Kyoko. You're all idiots. Now, granted, the roster we have left is consisting of Toko and Bikuya and Hiro. Hiro, I don't think he could find his way out of a closet if the door was wide goddamn open. Toko is too self-deprecating to think for herself. She just follows Bikuya's lead blindly. And Bikuya is like, hey, someone could have placed the key and pretended to find it. But doesn't bother to mention, hey, someone could have placed the key and let someone else pretend to find it. But no, that requires too much thinking, and these people don't like to think in this universe. It's just, they just let Kyoko do all the thinking for them. But of course, because Kyoko's under suspicion, they can't really do that this time. So what happens? They blame Makoto. And now, are you sure this isn't the bad ending? This feels like a bad ending. This feels like I've made a mistake. Like this feels like this wasn't supposed to happen. Also, I could be talking over something that doesn't even show up in the finished video, for God's sake, but whatever. The point is, you're all idiots. None of this makes any sense. We don't have the answers we need. I don't even, oh my, this has got to be the bad ending. What? What? You're dead. No. What? Trapdoor? Oh, he's dead. Okay, well, he's dead anyway. He's dead anyway. He doesn't survive that fall. What? Wait a minute. I have so many questions. Wait a minute. Okay, what? Where do you even begin? Okay, let's take it from the top. So, first of all, Alter Ego survived? How? All I can assume is that Kyoko baited Monokuma with some fake program. It's like, hey, look, it's Alter Ego. Quick, get him. And then so Monokuma destroyed that program, but the real Alter Ego operated in secret while that was happening as distraction. It's just to come back in time to save Makoto. That's what I'm assuming, because otherwise it makes no goddamn sense. But putting that aside, Makoto's dead anyway. With how far down he looked like he fell, especially since he was falling head first, no, he did not survive that. No, he's dead. He's very, very dead.
What's this? What's going on?
Hey, was that? Yeah, it had to be. Alter ego.
Alter ego? Is this some stupid virus from that stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell, I don't believe this.
You finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What was that?
What I'm saying is you shouldn't have underestimated us. We're willing to kill Makoto just to bring you down.
Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an itch. That stupid virus is gone now, got it?
And so, evidently that's not the case based on what we just witnessed.
And so is Makoto. Maybe I didn't get the smashing flat, but you're never gonna see him again. So waste away in a garbage-strewn pit.
Oh, that room goes to the garbage room. Of course it does. He's still dead. He fell. No, he's still dead. He's still dead.
It's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world.
Oh god, my throat. Is he gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? Just what the hell is going on? It's okay, we're not the ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words,
Now it's the Mastermind that's ensnared. What are you talking about?
so
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. The questions I have so many questions. I don't even know, dude. I don't even know. Okay, first off, this music is way too cheery for what just freaking happened. The massive high school towers over all the other buildings of the... Wait, isn't this the dialogue from the beginning of the game? What? This is the beginning of the game. What is going on now? What is going on now? I don't... This is literally the dialogue from the beginning of the game. What is this? What is this? What is... Are we Doki Doki Literature Club this now? What? I don't... This game... What? Okay, we're here. What? Where am I? Welcome to resting on a hard wooden desk. Yeah, it's the same dialogue. What the heck is going on? What the... What? We're just... What is going on? What is this game? What is this game? What is going on? I have the questions. I have too many. I have so many questions. Okay, let's try to review. Let's just calm down. Let's take a breath. Let's just calm down and try to figure out what the hell is going on. Okay, so let's review. So, Kyoko sends us to death. All right, so then we die. We're dead. We don't live. We're dead. We hit our head on the ground. We didn't survive. We're very, very dead. So then we redo the beginning of the game for like 10 seconds, and then we come back, and then we skip the middle part, and then we arrive in the classroom, and then we wake up, but then we get... What was the point of that? It's... This game... Oh, I don't even... The questions... To quote Smoking Guns, my name wants to battle, I'm left with no words and yet so much to say. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare. This isn't a dream, I can tell because the stench invading my nostrils is too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. Yeah, I'm sorry, you should be dead. No, I don't care you didn't get crushed. You fell down a giant hole. Who the hell knows how far down it was? And your head was gonna hit the ground. You did not survive. But apparently you did. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. Also, how far down are we at this point? The heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck until I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me, somehow. So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First, I was to start looking for a way out of there. Well, I suggest we try the door. Also, oh my... Yeah, no, you didn't survive. You very much did not survive. Absolutely, positively no way you survived that fall. There's no goddamn way. Rattle, rattle. It's locked. Rattle, rattle. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked it after it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, I'm not going to get out of here anytime soon. I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next is I search for some water. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm like out of it right now because I am just utterly bewildered by what we just witnessed. This game better start making sense real soon. I am losing my mind right now. Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides, but that's still not a reason to give up because I'm still alive. And as long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. I am not done fighting for life that I am not yet done living. Points if you get that reference. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was... go to sleep. Sure. You know, just slept for who knows how long because of the concussion that you probably... at the very least you experienced from the fall down from the surface. And yeah, what better place to sleep than in a giant garbage room? You know, perfect place to fall asleep. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. You slept for a full day. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. Like a crunch. What the? The strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. Oh. You got a care package from up above. You got some blue and green garbage bags, or I guess teal garbage bags. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? It looks like you got a care package, so let's examine what it is. Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever it was. Like, why would you make the garbage this far down? Why would you... Also, why would you put the trash chute below the execution chamber? I don't... Before she even emerged from the... Wait...
It smells awful.
Oh, okay, sure. You know, just throw yourself down the trash chute. Okay. Sure thing, Kyoko.
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here? Isn't obviously here to help you. And how do you plan to do that? I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. Oh, right, unless she probably has her master key, right, that she can use to get through the door. You got any garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, but then faced me again. Yeah, because wait a minute. The trash room is by the dorms, right? Because that was the whole thing, is that, like, that was key to the first case of the game. And yet, somehow, we fell down through the... Eat it, we can talk once you're finished. Thank you. I snatched the bread away and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. That really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going from one piece of bread. So you still haven't given up then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at. Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. Kyoko, answers, please, right now. You better start talking. I have no goddamn clue what just happened. Why'd you come to rescue me? I would not have started there. To pay a debt, or no, to atone. Atone? During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that, you didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive, no matter the cost. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I had to survive
In other words...
is so I can do what I came to school to do. And what did you come to the school to do? I mean, I mind to come to Hope's Peak Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
Indeed.
That's right, at least I did, once. Once? Until recently I've forgotten what it was. You forgot? But that's... Then is it really true you lost your memory? Shouldn't you have all have realized at this point that you've all lost your memory and you've been here for years?
Makoto.
Do you remember Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school? The first thing? You're talking about the when we fainted, right? I fainted when I woke up was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It seems...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school and couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that? Strange, isn't it? Hard to imagine to have my chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying that you think you lost your memory? Because I don't think, I'm positive it was the work of the Mastermind. They stole my memory. They stole all your memories. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with, because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow they would interfere with the Mastermind's plans. So the Mastermind just stole them from you? And it could also mean, somehow, my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the Mastermind, which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things myself the whole time. But if what you say is true, then why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you? If I did that, then we all worked as one, and the Mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always a chance that the Mastermind is actually one of us. What? Well, don't make too big of a deal of it, it's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The Mastermind, one of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her, in which case it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself. That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Because among everyone, you were least likely to be the Mastermind. That was just intuition, but I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the Mastermind.
I did.
Ugh, it's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
Listen.
Are you okay? Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing. Right?
Hey,
Evie, now I still trust you, you know. It just, I'm not used to relying on others. I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. More answers, please. I'm not satisfied yet. You've answered nothing about the questions I actually have. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own, so how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything? I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability. My ability. What everyone should have known me for. I'm the... Of course you are! Of course you are! I mean, it makes sense. She has experience with dead bodies. She's way smarter than everybody else in this school. It makes sense. Still didn't have to make her hold your hand the whole way through. The ultimate detective. And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school. You had to find someone? Who? Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my What?!
in other words,
Oh, I quit. I can't. This game, it just doesn't stop. It does not know when to quit. The hits just keep on coming. Okay. So not only is she the ultimate detective, but she's also the daughter of the headmaster of this goddamn school. Because, of course I told you she was too plot relevant to die, but she's just way more plot relevant than I thought. Kyoko's dad is Hope Speak's headmaster, and that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved, and she ferociously denied that was the case, right? Oh, she also said she had to find whatever. Yeah, right, okay. My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose of coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
however,
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. Yeah, sure, right. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then, what did you see in there? The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
it's true.
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Mukuro's profile on that key. The map showed the second floor was home to a number of rooms known for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured the headmaster would have had some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check. And that's when I finally remembered. I remember that my purpose was to find the owner of that room, so you wanted to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However,
And once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was it like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is that the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in the school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean? I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. Sounds like it must be important and really ominous. More answers, please.
However.
Of course, once I got to the second floor of the dorm, no cameras, no monitors, which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. It has to do with Mukuro Kusaba, doesn't it?
however,
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so then who did kill her? What I can say for sure is the Mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusaba was to get me killed. Get you killed? I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me. That was the point of the class trial. It was? The Mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. With mineral... Yeah, we know.
In other words,
The Mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The Mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like the Mastermind themselves somehow bound by the school regulations.
Hey.
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. I could have become the victim?
indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean... during the night? I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death. Oh, wonderful. I can hear the god of death as he moves. Uh-huh. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway.
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms, I had a sudden sense of dread. The stairwell. Through the soundproof walls, and I saw a white shadow across the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
Correct.
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them. But that led to whoever the mass assailant was, ending up dead.
correct.
And their murder was disguised and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the Mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the Mastermind, right? I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if true. It means the Mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The Mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try to kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So, what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means that the Mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more, and I should be able to figure out the Mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. Ooh, pick me, I think I know. The other ultimate despair? How about we think about who that body actually was? There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not.
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about what happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, which no one's going to tell me what it is, apparently. The tragedy, whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair? That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're, make no mistake, they're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair, and that is our real enemy. Okay! This game, man. I don't even know anymore. We have gone so far. Oh, great, we got the thing. Awesome. We have gone so far off the rails, I don't even know what's going on anymore. We got Mukuro, we got Junko, we got people being idiots, but that's nothing new. We got also coming back from the dead, we got Kyoko being an ultimate detective and having the father with the headmaster and going in the trash chute and someone not dying from concussion. There's so much, there's so freaking much. But I'll tell you one thing, I am beyond excited to dive into the next chapter and see what the hell is waiting for us moving forward. Okay, that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching, stay tuned for next to catch you all tomorrow for some more Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Goodbye!
Danganronpa.